A systematic literature review, SLR, is a research method that collects, examines, and evaluates all the studies related to a specific question or topic. Unlike a regular literature review that might just summarize articles you happen to find, a systematic literature review follows planned rules and steps to make sure nothing important is missed and the results are reliable. Let's break down the key terms. 1. Systematic. This means the process is organized, structured, and repeatable. Every step, from searching for studies to deciding which ones to include, is planned in advance. Researchers define the question, the rules for including studies, and the sources they will search before they start. This prevents random choices or personal bias from affecting the review. It is repeatable because other researchers can follow the same steps and check the results. 2. Literature. Here, literature refers to all kinds of research studies, papers, and reports that have been published, or even unpublished, on the topic. This can include journal articles, conference papers, theses, books, and sometimes government or industry reports. 3. Review. A review means carefully analyzing and summarizing the findings of these studies. But in an SLR, it is not just summarizing. Each study is assessed for quality, relevance, and reliability, and comparisons are made across all the studies to identify patterns, gaps, and strong conclusions. It includes using multiple reviewers, which means that 2 or more people check the studies independently to make sure personal opinions or mistakes do not affect which studies are included. It also includes writing a protocol, which is a detailed plan that explains every step of the review, from the question being asked to how studies will be selected and analyzed, making the process clear and repeatable. Tools like the PRISMA flow diagram show exactly how studies were chosen or left out so others can follow the process. You can see above video to understand how to create a PRISMA flow diagram for a systematic literature review. A systematic literature review is done for 3 main reasons: to understand the current state of knowledge on a topic. For example, what do studies show about how diet affects diabetes? To identify gaps where research is missing or weak, which helps future researchers know what questions to study. To combine evidence in a way that is reliable and unbiased, so decisions or recommendations based on research are stronger. Steps for writing a systematic literature review. Step 1. Formulate a research question. The first step is to decide exactly what you want to find out. This makes the review focused and guides all later steps. Researchers often use the PICO framework to organize the question: P. Population, who is being studied; I. Intervention, what is being done or tested; C. Comparison, what is it being compared to; O. Outcome, what is being measured. This article on a systematic review and meta-analysis of the prevalence and risk factors of type 2 diabetes mellitus in Nigeria also used a PICO framework. Population: adults aged 18 or older with type 2 diabetes; intervention and comparison: not applicable. They were studying prevalence, outcome, diagnosis and risk factors of type 2 diabetes mellitus. Their research questions were: 1. What is the prevalence of type 2 diabetes mellitus in Nigeria and how does it differ across regions? 2. What are the risk factors for developing type 2 diabetes mellitus in Nigeria? Step 2. Develop a protocol. A protocol is a detailed written plan that explains exactly how the review will be done. It helps make the process transparent, organized, and repeatable. A good protocol includes background, why this question is important; research objectives, what the review aims to achieve; selection criteria, rules for which studies to include or exclude; search strategy, how and where to find studies; data analysis plan, how information will be collected and combined. For example, in the Nigeria review, the researchers registered their protocol with Prospero. They explained that they would include studies on adults living in Nigeria reporting prevalence or risk factors of type 2 diabetes mellitus and exclude studies on type 1 diabetes, children, or studies with unclear data. They also decided which statistical tools and quality assessments they would use, like the Newcastle, Ottawa scale to check study quality. Step 3. Search for all relevant studies. Next, researchers look for studies everywhere they can find them. This usually includes databases, online sources like PubMed, Scopus, Web of Science, hand searching, checking journals, reference lists, and conference proceedings, gray literature, reports, theses, or unpublished studies, experts, contacting researchers for studies not publicly available. For example, the Nigeria Review searched databases, reference lists, and trial registries. Step 4. Apply the selection criteria. Once all studies are found, researchers decide which ones to include based on the criteria in the protocol. Usually, 2 reviewers work independently and a third resolves disagreements. This reduces bias and mistakes. For example, 2 reviewers screened 712 titles and removed duplicates, leaving 700 studies. They excluded 10 studies that did not report prevalence in Nigeria. Then, they read 616 full-text articles and finally included 60 studies in the analysis. The PRISMA flow diagram showed exactly how studies were included or excluded. Step 5. Extract the data. In this step, researchers collect key information from each included study in a structured way. This includes study location, population, and sample size, study design and methods, results and outcomes, quality and risk of bias. For example, the reviewers in the Nigeria study collected data on the sample size, ranging from 60 to 58,567. Study period, 1989 to 2024, age, diagnostic criteria for type 2 diabetes mellitus, and study location. They also noted whether studies were urban or rural and assessed quality using the Newcastle-Ottawa scale. Step 6. Synthesize the data. After collecting data, researchers combine the findings to answer the research question. There are 2 main approaches: narrative synthesis, describing patterns and trends in words; quantitative synthesis, meta-analysis using statistics to calculate overall results. For example, the Nigeria study used a random effects meta-analysis to calculate the pooled prevalence of T2DM, which was 7% overall. They also analyzed subgroups by geopolitical zones, showing South-South Nigeria had the highest prevalence, 11.35%, and North-Central the lowest, 2.03%. They identified risk factors such as family history, obesity, urban living, physical inactivity, and high socioeconomic status. Step 7. Write and publish a report. Finally, researchers share their findings in a clear, structured report: abstract, summary of the review, introduction, background and objectives, methods, how studies were selected, data collected and analyzed, results, what studies were included and what they found, discussion, interpretation, strengths, limitations, and implications, conclusion, final answers and recommendations. This step-by-step explanation shows that a systematic literature review is a careful, structured, and transparent research method. Each step ensures the review is complete, unbiased, and reproducible.